Right, geometry, we are here in one of the final pieces. We're going to do part 404 for Unit 7, the final piece for Unit 7, that is. This is right triangle trigonometry. Now, before we had multiple triangles and we were solving for lengths, but now we're going to find the area of multiple triangles. Okay, so key thing all along here, remember that the area of triangles is 1/2 times the base times the height. As long as you remember that, this will be easy. So, start with that. Let's see what we got. Find the area of each triangle, blah, round, blah, blah, round, blah, blah, round. Okay, the area of each triangle. So here is the crazy thing. To find the area of the triangle, first we got to know what the height is, and we need to know what the base is. Now, I'm going to do each of these, but I'm going to do them slightly different from the other. And here's why. Here's what we're going to look at. For this first one, I see two triangles, a left one and a right one. And I'm going to do each one separate and then add them together. So then I'll say, area of one plus area of the second one, and then we'll see what that total equals. For the other one, I'm going to first find the height, but then I'm going to find a total base. So I'm going to look for this value right there, x. I also need to find this value, y. And then the base here is going to be 29 plus whatever that x is. So I'm going to do each of these a little bit differently, but really not that much different when it comes to the answer. You get the same answer no matter how you do it. But we need to find the rest of the base and this height y as well. We'll use x and y appropriately, because x tends to be horizontal measures and graphical representations, and y is vertical. Okay, so let's just do it. Let's start with y. To find y, I need to use this 9, the y, and the 24 degrees. This is a lot like part 3 of 4. We're doing the same kind of idea. We're just kind of taking it one step further. So those three pieces would be the opposite, the adjacent, this 9 is adjacent, and the 24 degrees. So opposite and adjacent, which means we're doing tangent. So tangent 24 degrees equals the opposite, y over 9. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 9, and let's see what we get. So 9 times tangent of 24 degrees is 0.45. 0.45 times 9 is 4.05. There we go. 4.05. So y equals 4.05. So that's 4.05. That height right there. 4.05. The height is 4.05. And then this x down here, we got to figure out that. Well, if I use the y value we just found, that gives me another opposite and adjacent relationship, because now this 4.05 is here, then we have the x, and then the 33 degrees up there. And that's another tangent. So we got tangent 33 degrees. Opposite over adjacent is going to be x over 4.05. So we're going to take that, multiply 4.05 to both sides, 4.05 to both sides. And we'll see what x equals. Alright, so let's calculate that. And we're going to multiply 33. There we go. Tangent of 33. 33, just up a little bit. Tangent is 0.6. So we're going to do 4.05 times 0.65. That gives us 2.63. 2.63. So x equals 2.63. So how does this help us? Well, the base for the blue was 9. And then when we look at the red, the height was still 4.05 like before, but the base was 2.63. So when I set up each of these calculations, I got 1/2, and then the base is 9 times 4.05. And then we're going to add on to that the red pieces, which is 1/2, and then the base is this time 2.63, and then the height is 4.05 again. Okay, so let's add those two things together. we got to do calculator here. It's times 4.05, so 9 times 4.05, and then we divide that by 2. And so we got that. Then we're going to add on to it something else, which was 2.63 times 4.05 divided by 2. Now, it's okay to do that because all this multiplication division is going to come before we add that. Calculator knows that. It does it for us. And we get 23. So the total area is 23.55. That's cool. That's super cool. We're going to do something similar over in the next one instead of just adding each area together. And we're going to do just the area of one whole triangle, which is like the blue and red put together, cleverly colored purple here, because when you mix blue and red you get purple. Did you get that? Alright, so first let's start with the left side so that we can find y. So we're going to use 29, the y, and the 40 degrees up here. And that actually helps us with a tangent relationship because we got the opposite and adjacent. So tangent of 40 degrees, the opposite is going to be 29, and the adjacent is our y. Now I'm going to kind of shortcut something here. We've been doing enough of this algebra at this point, you know, that, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and do it. Never mind. I'll do all the work. Tangent 40. So y equals 29 divided by tangent 40. Tangent 40 would be 0.84. 0.84. Looking for this part right there. 0.84. Relation would be 29 divided by 0.84 gives us 34.5. 34.5. And now we're going to use that value because this right here is 34.5 for the vertical, but we need to find this x, which we'll use the 25 degrees, the 34.5, and the x. And again, it's another tangent, but this time it's a little bit different. So we have tangent 25. This time, opposite is x, and 34.5 goes on the bottom. 34.5 goes on the bottom, that y value. Alright, so tangent 25 equals x over this. So we're going to multiply both sides by 34.5 to kind of get rid of that. 5 happens to be, down here near the bottom, 0.47. So we're going to do 0.47 times what we just got, so times the answer that we just found earlier. That gives us 16.22. So that means this x is 16.22. And b, the whole base, is going to be 29 plus that. So we're going to add 29 to that number. Add 29 to that. And we get 45.22. So that means that b, down here, equals 45.22. So the area of the whole triangle, again, is 1/2 base and height, which in this case is 45.22, times the height, which is 34.5. Let's see what we get if we multiply those numbers. So that times 34.5, then divided by 2, equals 780.15. 780.15. Wow, that's a lot bigger. But notice the numbers are a lot bigger than these ones over here. This was 9, this was 29. That's quite a bit bigger. Alright, so that's it. Piece of cake, right? Alright, I'm going to do maybe, you know, like a couple more here. Let's see if we can find one that looks particularly challenging for some reason or another. I don't know. How about just 95? Sure, we'll do 95. And here's why we're going to do 95. Because it's kind of backwards at this point. Notice now the numbers over here on the right instead of on the left. So we'll call this piece x and this piece y. Those are the ones that we need to find. So let's start by trying to find the y. This time we've got to use the 46 and the 12. Notice I'm going to the group where I can find, make a group of 3, and I only have one letter to solve for. Because if I used x and y, then I couldn't really solve that. I got too many variables. So let's set it up. 46, 12, and y. The 12 is opposite. The y is adjacent. So opposite, adjacent. That would be tangent. Tangent 46 equals the opposite, which is 12, over y. Okay, so we multiply by y, divided by tangent 46. Let's see what we would get. Y equals 12 divided by tangent 46, which in this case is 1.04. So we're going to have 12 divided by 1.04. That gives me 11.54 or 11.5. Let's just go with that. 11.5. 11.5. I forgot what this was, but let's double check it. It was 1.04. That's what I divided by. Yep. 1.04. Cool. So the y value is 1.04. But now I'm going to use that with this x and this 25 degrees. Remember, this is 1.04. And with the x, I have another tangent relationship because now the 1.04 is opposite. The x is adjacent, and there's 25 degrees. So I have tangent 25 equals the opposite, which in this case is 1.04, over the adjacent, which is x. Multiply both sides by x, and divide both sides by tangent 25. Tangent 25. The x's will simplify. The tangent 25 will simplify. We have x equals 1.04 divided by tangent 25. Well, let's see what we would get. All right. Tangent 25, first we got to start with that, is 0.47. And the number we're looking for is 1.04. Is that right? No, that's not 1.04. Oh my goodness. You guys are probably shouting at me saying, Mr. Butler, you're an idiot. Can't even do your calculations right. This was 11.5. So 11.5 divided by 0.47. So 11.5 divided by 0.47 gives us 24.468. How about 24.5? 24.5. Alright, so now what I need to do is I need to figure out what this whole base is. So I'm going to take 24.5, and we got x plus 12, which is going to be 24.5 plus 12. Well, that's 36.5. This is our base. And our height is the y value that we came up with, which was 11.5. So the area is going to be half the base times the height, which in this case is, the base is 36.5, and the height is 11.5. Our calculator, we got 11.5 times 36.5 divided by 2 for the half. And then we got 209.875 equals 209.875. That's awesome. Super awesome. Okay, so I'm going to finish with that one. You guys can ask more questions in class if you need to, but rewatch those because everything's pretty much the same kind of idea. You have to find that y and that x and then figure out the area of each triangle or the total area of the two triangles put together by finding the base total here, which is what I did on number 95. Okay, have a good day. We'll see you later.